Well, you were in teaching mode. That was just more left brain or right brain.
That was
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for making me aware of that.
I teach from there most of the time, so.
You're,
I get
we're each other's assistant anyway, right?
it. Yes.
Okay. I got thinking about, I've talked a lot about the 99.9999% and the 0.000001%. And remember, that's the particle, and then the massive field, okay, that you are. That your actual real you is not the particle. All right, I'm going to use this illustration up here, and if I got it set right, I made this yesterday, and I'm going to leave this on the whole time I'm talking, okay, for a reason, and you'll figure it out on your own. But what you'll notice and we're going to go through these.
Were the dates on these pages supposed to be 5-5, not 4-5?
Yeah.
Fine.
You're right. Thank you, assistant.
I was just going to put them in an order, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
But I want you to stay with me now. You got to, don't write and not look up here while I'm talking.
Okay.
I need to watch. Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. This is what's happening right now to you. The black is the field. You ever heard Joe? You always heard Joe speak the blackness, the eternal. Because if you remove, see, light. A lot of people don't realize light is not part of the field. Light is part of physical reality. Light is what it becomes once you get. Because once you get past the speed of light, you've entered no time, no space, okay? It's right at 186,000 miles per second that this reality begins, see? Or ends, excuse me, ends. Are you following me? If you go 186,000 miles per second, you're still in the physical reality. But once you break that, you're in the field. Your pure energy. That's right there. That's his E equals MC squared.
Is that a parsec, the 186,000 miles per second?
Per second, yeah.
Okay.
So, now, the reason I'm not going to turn this off is because this is constant, okay? And this is too slow, but I'm doing it on purpose so you can be aware of it. This is happening 8 times a second. Now, I think it's faster. They have, Joe said 7.5 in one of his videos, and they rounded to 8. I think it's faster, because I think that's just I think that's all they've been able to measure. But, here's my point. Every time this happens, is it going to start again? Yeah. All right. 8 times a second, you have a chance to be brand new. Okay?
What is this? What is
Yeah,
the,
I'm going to keep on the flow here. Which also means 480 times a minute. Which also means 28,800 times an hour. You have an opportunity to be brand new. Because every time you go back into the field, the particles that come back are according to your thoughts and emotions. Now, you may never change them, so you keep getting the same thing. If you go through the day, every thought is the information, every emotion is the energy that pulls it out of the field. That's why you're supposed to use your frontal lobes and say, change. Because this is happening so fast, and you have, figured it out, 691,200 times a day to change. Think about that. Every time this happens, you have an opportunity. But the particles that are coming back are the ones that you are thinking and feeling. That's why I was trying to get you to celebrate earlier. I was trying to change particles. Are you with me? That's why I wanted you to get up and dance. See, you have this power. And look at how many opportunities you have.
And what if
Okay.
the speed is according to your emotion and your vibration at the time? That it could be faster if you're in a higher
Oh, yeah.
vibration, and that could be why that they can't determine exactly when it is.
Well, the real-
because it's according to the.
Well, there is, it's actually instantaneous though, the moment you're one with the field. See, that's, Joe talked about this. He said, you start out separate from the field. When you're in your physical body, like now, come on out here. When you're here, you're separate from the field, if you're focused on that. Now, the more and longer you focus on the field, you're already there. But if it's only for a couple of seconds, you're back out here again. Your focus, I'm talking about. Not, this always happens. I'm talking about your focus. Okay. But the more you're one with the field, more instantaneous is the creation. That's why you should be practicing every morning. You know the point of that whole meditation? It isn't just to feel good. It isn't just to, oh, I did my meditation today. You know, it is literally developing a relationship with the divine field. And how would you feel if you're developing a relationship with someone and they don't want to spend any time with you? And we're talking about the most important energy or existence in your life. This is, the divine is more important than anybody else. Have you got that yet?
Mm-hmm.
If not, just think, if the divine is number one, everything else falls into place. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? Wouldn't it have to? Yeah. So, but we have so many times we think, well, I don't have time for the divine. I got to do this. And guess what you are in? You're in matter. See, and you're staying there. You're unaware of what's going on. You don't even think about this at all. So are you with me? All right. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the other sheet. I'm not going to go into all of it, but who do you believe you are? Who's the real you? Because if you think you're this body, think about it. It's in constant flux, change, boom, boom, boom. It doesn't even exist out here for more than an eighth of a second. And you're focusing on that only? It's an illusion. This is not you. This is an afterthought. Because you created it with your thought. Isn't it an afterthought? Yeah, this is past tense. This is too. This is not you. Okay? Now, I want you to think in terms of who you think you are and who the creator is and who's the created. Who creates reality? The creator, right? Yes? Now, if you're all physical, can you create? No. You can't, the creation can't create. Right? I mean, if you, that's the body that's coming out of the field is the creation. The creation doesn't create. The creation gets created. So if you think you're this, no wonder you think, wow, that was a miracle. Wow, that was supernatural. You know why? Because you're thinking with this. Because this can't do it. Right? This can't do it. It's limited. It's actually powerless. The only thing this can do in this realm is maybe move this table. Could matter move matter. But that's it. You have no superpowers with this. If you think this is you, you're a victim. So, that's what, shaking here. So that makes me realize that if I'm going to believe that I'm a creator, I gotta get past this body. I gotta get past this programming that says this is me. I gotta get rid of the ego. The ego's my servant, not my master. The ego's created, not the creator. Are you following me? So, if I want to be limitless, I have to realize that I'm not this body, and I'm not this physical being at all. This is subject to time, this is subject to space, this is subject to entropy. You know what that is? Falling apart. This is subject to all the physical laws of the Newton, like he talked about physical laws. Okay, is that what you want to be subject to? And listen to that word subject to. That's a victim. If you are subject to anything, you're a victim. Okay. So then I realized, oh my gosh, that's why as I'm walking down the road or doing what I'm doing, and I get this little anger to come up, no, I am not going to become matter. I'm not going to lower my vibration. I'm a God. I'm a God, I'm not a human. Now, here's the two relationships that I like about this stuff. Let's see if this helps. This just did it for me. See, the creator that you are is an unlimited, all-powerful, omnipresent, because remember, if you're in the field, aren't you everywhere? Yeah. So when you do your meditation and enter the field, you're everywhere. You're everything. You're everybody. Okay. So that means creating's normal to me. Tell me, hard to create. Who are you? If you don't know who you are, yeah. But are you kidding me? In fact, I'm doing it right now. 8 times a second. I'm always doing it. You're always doing it. 8 times a second. Okay? So, it's not as awesome to the Creator. It's not as miraculous to the Creator. That would be like saying it's miraculous for a bird to fly. Wouldn't it? If a bird is a bird, isn't it innate for the bird to fly? Doesn't have to think about it. It's not a miracle. Well, if I'm a creator, unlimited, then nothing should be miraculous. Are you following me? Now, can you get there? It doesn't matter if you feel that way right now. You're actually there already. But think about that now. Do you really believe that you're the creator? Do you believe it? Do you really believe it? I mean, this is rhetorical. You can say yes or no if you want to. That's the whole thing, because I think that's why you're here. That's why you're here. You're finding out who you are. You're finding out who you are. I'm finding out who I am. I don't want to go back. I'm not going back. I'm just feeling it right now. It's like, and you know why? Because I'm talking about my buddy, you know, that I'm hanging with all the time here. It's like, and I'm getting goosebumps when I say that. See, do you see what I mean? It's like, and then you'll become so aware, you're going to walk in it. Like the walking meditation. You'll just feel it everywhere around you. And I feel it flowing through me. Wholeness. The highest vibration. See? Now, why would you not have time for that? Isn't that ludicrous? To think you don't have time for that? Now, here's the other side of the coin. So after this massive, beautiful creation I make, guess what I get to do? Then I get to jump back into this perspective, the body. And like a little boy, I get to look at my creation. And I can look at it from this limited sense. Are you following me? I figured out that's what this is for. To make this awesome. See, this is where it's awesome. So I'll go be my creator being, which is utmost, and then I'll come back into here and go, wow, look what I created. And you got the emotions. You get the emotions, see? You get the feelings. See, this is what Joe says is the end result of your creation is the feeling of it. Do you know this body, that's all it's for? This is your experiencing suit and feeling suit for your creation. That's all it's for. Think about it, isn't it? How do you experience this creation? Your senses, right? And your emotions. Are you getting this? Is this making any sense to you? See, this for me is like, wow, this is amazing. I'm this massive, powerful creator that gets to create for the same being in a little boy and then have fun with it. Like, then I can be in awe here. Not when I'm creating. I'm not in awe when I'm creating. I'm a creator. What are you talking about? But then I get to jump back into this body. Wow. And become physical to experience it. Still knowing where I am, though. Still knowing who I am. But this isn't in charge. This isn't me. This is my feeling experiencing suit. And the whole time, go ahead.
Neil Donald Walsh, in a conversation with God, said he asked God why God created man. What are we here for? And he said, so that God could experience that which he is not. Because if
Which
you're
is
God,
limited. See, you get to be unlimited and then experience being limited and experience the unlimited creation you made. So look, you get to be everything then. You get to be the most powerful creator, and then you get to be the subject of the creation.
To experience the awesome.
To experience the awesome of what you created. Isn't it much more awesome from this perspective than it would be from the field?
yeah.
See? But this isn't me. This is a suit I'm wearing. It's my reality suit. With a programmable, with 76 billion, or excuse me, 76 billion neurons sitting there to create everything I want with this reality suit. But I've got to use my imagination and send it into the field, and I got 8 times a second to do it. I can do it anytime. It's always, you see, it hasn't stopped yet? No. It's not going to stop. And every time is another opportunity. And it's your thoughts and your feelings and what you're being that's going into the field, and then you see it out here. And you get to experience it. I was really hoping I could get this across because it hit me like a ton of bricks this week. It was like, and it sets me free from this. You know, really knowing what it's for. I can't create with this. I'm not even going to try. Why? It's back to the Adam and Eve falling from the garden where they had to work by the sweat of their brow. Remember? They were domination of all creation. All the galaxies, everything. They have dominion. Which means they were God. But then they became total matter. And I work in the garden. You know. Got a hoe now.
For
You know, you got a hole now. Are you with me? I sound like Bill there, don't I? Well, anyway, all of that's in there. It's like I tried to write it in such a way that you could go through it and get the gist, but I felt like this visual, did this help at all?
Yeah.
So, trying to give you motivation, and with those two things at the beginning, is seeing what people are doing, you know, and how they're doing it. I get up every morning. I encourage you to do these things. I watch minimum of 1 or 2 testimonies of Joe's testimonies. People that have healed themselves things, created things like out of nothing. What's that going to do to me? More faith.
Encourage you.
Faith, it gives me more faith. Then I celebrate with that video, you know, up and up and up. See, I love that part. I'm dancing around here and I'm ascending because of that part of the song that goes up and up and up. It's like I feel it right then when I do it. You know. I'm telling you to do that next. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing as far as what I'm using, but then do the walking celebration and like he's talking about those. You don't have to go through a seminar to learn to do that. I did it. That's how I created. Like I said, that's how I created my music. All you have to do is get in touch. You might even do your meditation first, and then do the walking and the celebrating. That's what they did. They did their meditations inside first. They started their days every day with that cleansing of the energy centers.
I do a little music first, and then my meditation, and then I do a Thanksgiving.
That's right, and that's what I'm saying. The meditation is what opens you up to create. And then start visualizing and being thankful. Go into the, what did I call it, the unlimited store? Remember that?
Yeah.
You know what, I changed, I think so let's change this to Amazon. Because it delivers. How about that? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Doesn't the field deliver?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like ordering from Amazon. You don't have to leave your house, you know. So just do your meditation, get up and celebrate, and send your order into Amazon, the limited or unlimited field of possibilities of this, and then just celebrate some more. And then just practice the presence of the divine all day. Being thankful, being loving. I'm practicing it everywhere I go. No matter where I go, if I go into, it's funny, I'll go into Rainbow Blossom the other day, and this lady's selling her wares. You know, they'll do an example, or they'll do samples of things people want to. And I'd seen her before. I said, I remember you, don't I? And she goes, I'm the guy that told you about the hemp in Canada. And she goes, oh yeah, oh yeah. And she looks like she's probably in her 60s or 70s. She's older, but this is her business. She starts following me around. It's like, because I patted her, I gave her a hug, and we talked, and I went over and got my coffee ground up, and she walked over and said, boy, that really smells good. And then she, you know, but I thought, see, how many, I look at people, all they're doing is going through the motions, no matter where they are, doing their jobs, and they never connect. See, I'm connecting with, that's my body out there. That's another cell in the body. They don't know it, but I do. I know they are. And I just want to pull them on in. You know, I want them to become part of the body. So what's the best thing we can do? Love them. You know, send that loving feeling. Be nice to them. Say things that, you know, builds them up. And then what's going to happen? You've changed their vibration. See, your sphere, remember that bubble that you walk, or that energy you're walking around with, and you're out open, and you've done your meditation, so all these chakras are flowing, and you walk in there, well, what's it going to do? It's going to entrain those lower vibrations, bring them up. And then can't wait to see you again the next time. Right? And you're creating. You see, you're in that creative mode. You're in the God mode, because God is what? love. And anyone who abides in love, guess who they abide in?
Me.
The divine, God, and the divine abides in them. So walking around in love, being in love. Like Joe says at the end of that meditation, in love with life. I mean, I was telling Becky this morning, when I do that meditation, I stand up at the end, after you're done with the energy centers, when he says, now, you know, I did that, now. Sense the space around your body and the energy of it, and I'm going, and I'm feeling like this, it's just like this energy is just, I'm being not electrocuted, but electrified. And then he says, let your light shine, and I see this burst of light just, and it's like, oh my gosh, see. And you know why? You open up, you let go. See, that's what he's talking about. That's why he's had those people doing those letting go exercises. We have so much restriction, don't you think? In our being, we have so much to
Limits.
let shine, to let go of and give, and we walk around like little limited people, little particles. You know?
See, I think that word now, when he says now, I think it has two meanings, because he's saying right now.
Right now.
In this
Yes.
now.
You're exactly right. You're getting it in this now. And I got a little testimony about a year and a half ago. My dentist, girl that cleans my teeth, said I had a little bit of gum disease going. You know how your gums start receding a little bit, or you have a little irritation. And I got probiotics that you can get for your mouth too now. Because she said that, and she says, I don't know if it'll work, because they didn't know anything about it. She just said she had somebody. And I tried that for a long while, and it didn't really change. And, I mean, it wasn't severe or anything, but you could tell, you know, a little bit. Like when you'd use dental floss and it would feel tender. It is gone. I've done nothing but the meditation for the last 2 months. It is totally gone. And I was telling somebody, working out, for the last 10 years, I've always had sore joints and tendons, not, you know, the kind you can work through that's not debilitating, just from overuse in the past and overtraining. And, because I'm not overtraining now, I'm doing it the right way, but I'd still have to deal with, you know, laying down and feeling a little, I feel 25 again. My joints are like, I mean, it's like they're not there anymore. And what's encouraged me in all this, remember the guy that created the cartilage in his knees?
Mm-hmm.
And I've not targeted anything. I've not targeted, because remember, if you put your mind on, you know, it's not necessarily good to do that. What have I done? I've just done the freaking meditation and opened up my energy centers, and I'm blessing my whole body with the message that's going into the field. He says, whatever you send in comes back out. And then at the end, remember, you're going through this meditation, and it says, and your tissues, and your organs, and your systems are being, you know, it's like vibrating with light and love and the divine. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and I'm going like, well, no wonder it all healed up. You don't have to pick a pain and say, I gotta fix that. That's the problem. You don't want to do that. Remember he said earlier in one of those videos, it's, if you're thinking about the problem, that's the problem. Go to the solution. Go to the source.
Well, I have to tell you what happened to me this
Tell me.
You know, I'm having my bathroom remodeled. Well, I still can't take a shower, but I can take a bath.
You still smell right.
So, the first night that I was able to take a bath, I filled the tub full of hot water and sat in there and just, you know, really relaxed in it. And shampooed my hair sitting down in the tub, and then I was able to use the shower, you know, to get it off. But anyway, I had some water in my ear and emptied it out, and the next morning I go in and put my headphones on to do my meditation. I about blew myself out of that chair with the sound.
Was your ears fixed?
Because and I got in the car the other day, and the radio comes on, and Gavin's with me, and that radio is blasting. And Gavin says, "Were you jamming?" I said, "Well, I'm just hearing better today than I was yesterday." So that was kind of neat.
I've been thinking about your ear.
Something.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been, your hearing.
Good,
I've been,
good. Because now,
but again, you know what to do.
yeah.
And for some people in there, you'll see that it's, sometimes it takes 3 days, sometimes it takes 6 months.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes 3 years.
Yeah.
But they had drastic things. Some of them couldn't even walk in their walk. So what I mean is keep it up,
I will.
and you gotta maintain. You
and
can't just go, okay, it's it's good, I
Right.
don't need to meditate anymore.
Where do we,
You know?
And the thing with
I'll
the
have-
other
I'll show you.
ear is that it's the one that has just been almost completely deaf. And when I put headphones on, it's like I don't hear anything there. I do now. Without my aid in
There you
there, I'm getting sound through there.
Awesome.
So, that was really cool.
I had something cool happen. Charity knows. It has not, it's kind of probably like a subconscious meditation I had, because I haven't been actively doing the meditations, because I haven't found it. I'll find it, I'll ask somebody to show me where
I'll
it's
help
at
you,
and
I'll
start
help,
doing it.
yeah, I'll help you.
But it was after last weekend when I was, I was telling Charity, I said, you know, whenever I felt myself go back into old modes of thinking or whatever, like, people have accused me of having like body dysmorphia, because I used to weigh 200 pounds, and when I look in the mirror, I still see that chubby little girl. So, you know, anytime I'd have like one of those thoughts, I'd say, change. So all this past week, I kept doing that. Well, I was having this weird dream, and I had this, and I won't get into the dream, but essentially, it involved an ex-boyfriend that was one of the great loves of my life. And I know I had a dream about him because there's a guy that works at the gardening store that looks just like him. It's eerie. So long story short, I had this dream. I was telling Charity about it, and I was driving up to see Charity for a massage. And as I'm driving up, I'm going 64 East. I'm turning off Greenville, and right in that where you're turning off the Greenville exit, there's that, you know, that place there where highway here, and you've got this place of land and rocks and whatnot.
Right.
And there's just this guy sitting there with white hair and an orange shirt on. He's just sitting there. And I look up the highway, I look around, there's no work, nothing. He's just sitting there. And so I called 911 and said, you know, I don't know if this guy needs help, could you send help? So I go there and I'm telling Charity about this. I said, the strangest thing just happened to me. And she says, well, what were you thinking about before you saw him? I said, oddly enough, I said, I was thinking about my ex-boyfriend. I said, I found out his mother had died, and I was having a conversation with her saying, you know, thank you for allowing me to love your son. Thank you for allowing me to know you. You know, I'm so happy he's married. I just wish him and her the best. And I was talking to them, just kind of out there. And she said, and she's pointing to the poster with the chakras. And she said, what kind of shirt was he wearing? I said, orange, like bright day glow orange. And she says, well, that's like the center of, you know, letting go and sending love, and I can't remember but it tied in so perfectly with what was happening right there. It was like instantaneous. It was like I was sending all this out to him and finally letting it go, and coming to terms, which is weird, you know, and then seeing this little white-haired little man with the orange shirt just sitting in the middle of the highway like median. It was bizarre. So I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't.
Well,
you know.
he was for you.
Well, that's what. Yeah, he was my messenger.
He went back
so.
into the field.
He probably
is
went
what
back. Yeah, he
did.
went back into the field. Probably.
Yeah, it was surreal. It really was. It was cool though.